I'm going to take you out to appreciate a rare sighting here this winter, which is a beautiful, sunny, snowy day in March. They say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb, and I'm hoping that's the case this year. But for now, I'm just going to admire the beauty. So if March has you dreaming of green, pour yourself a big old cup of Irish breakfast tea and see how I use pre-loved items to create a St. Patrick's Day inspired spring table for two. We are in full March Madness mode at my house, both figuratively and literally. This table was supposed to be the setting for a St. Patrick's Day inspired spring tablescape. But between my son's high school basketball schedule, the NCAA tournament upcoming, and my husband's work schedule, along with some ski vacations I had planned with my daughter, it didn't quite work out. And like a lot of things, that didn't really work because St. Patrick's Day, when I looked on the calendar, both of my children that are left at home are not going to be around. So I switched it around and decided I would share with you a St. Patrick's Day dinner for two. So to begin with, I went around the house and gathered all of the items that I have that are reminiscent of St. Patrick's Day or spring. I have lots of green and white, and I have my jadeite and my Meakin pottery and some ironstone, as well as some linens and things that I thought would work well for the table. I also selected these little Princess House candle holders with some sage green tapers. In the middle there are some Pimpernel placemats that are the Streets of Ireland. And I just recently thrifted this green glass vase, which I thought would be really pretty with white tulips in it. And there is my shamrock plant in my hobnail milk glass planter, which I was so thrilled to find. Down the line, I've got my jadeite Martha Stewart pedestal. And those are just some paper napkins I picked up at TJ Maxx that I thought would be pretty. I also have some table linens. I have a white runner with a green stripe. This was thrifted. Actually, my sister Paula thrifted this and sent it to me. I love it. It's very simple. I use it in spring. I love the green edging. And I also have a set of 4 placemats that I thrifted about a year ago, and I love the design on the edge of them. And then I think these might be my favorite. These are Mountain Weavers. These were a gift from my mother-in-law. I have a set of 4 of those. I pulled out some dishes that I thought would be good for a spring or St. Patrick's Day table. I really love these forget-me-not pattern. It's J.W. Meakin Ironstone. And I love the spring green. It's just such a beautiful muted green color that it's almost like a neutral. And then I have these octagonal rimmed soup bowls, which are among my favorites. They're Johnson Brothers, and I have only a set of 2 of them, which is perfect for my Irish stew for 2, which I'm hoping to have. So I'm looking at those. I think those will be nice. And then I also have the Meakin Ironstone forget-me-not plates in the larger dinner plate size. So I have the bread and butter size and the large size. Here is a close-up of those Pimpernel placemats. I love the cork-backed placemats because they're so easy to clean. And these are the Streets of Galway. So pretty. And what a perfect backdrop for a simple soup for 2 for St. Patrick's Day. When creating everyday elegance, I think it's important to start with some kind of a centerpiece. And I just picked this vase up. It is a green glass vase with these really cool horizontal ribbing design on it. And I think I paid $1.50 for that. And I had been looking for a green vase, so this will be great for St. Patrick's Day, Christmas. I just love it. And there are those Princess House candle holders, which I actually picked up recently as well. They were $1 each. We lost power the other day and I was looking for just a small, low profile candlestick, a candle holder to put candlesticks in, and these fit the bill. And then when I was thinking about setting this table, I thought those would be a perfect low profile, kind of casual looking candle holder for our dinner. I settled on this for a centerpiece. I decided not to use the green vase because number one, I didn't have any cut flowers to put in it. And I thought it was just a little bit overwhelming. I couldn't resist having this sweet shamrock plant as a centerpiece. And when I put it on top of this jadeite pedestal, it just felt right to me. I love the colors and I love the sort of simple and sweet Irish nod in this. So I wrestled a little bit with getting what I think is the right setting. Initially, I started out with the woven placemat and the rimmed soup bowl. And I had a little cloth napkin with a little grapevine napkin ring. But everything seemed so neutral. It just wasn't really working for me. So then I swapped out the rimmed soup bowl for the forget-me-not plates with a false graph bowl. And I like that much better. I've collected these false graph. I've been thrifting these and collecting them for years. I love it, and I loved seeing the green and white around the edges. When I tried to use the green and white plates under the octagonal bowl, you couldn't see any of it. It was too big. So then I decided to swap out the placemat for these simple cream ones with that really cute edging that's like, almost looks like Irish lace on the edge. And I thought that was a much better fit. It really showed off the spring green, and I just really liked that better. But I still felt like it was a lot of whites and neutrals. So I had to tweak it and work at it a little bit more. Ultimately, I decided to start with this beautiful placemat with that gorgeous detailing, and then I layered it with the green placemat, the Pimpernel one. I thought the green really stood out, and because they're small, they really needed the extra layer of the larger woven placemat underneath it. Actually, it's not a woven, it's just a linen placemat. Then I used my Meakin Ironstone forget-me-not plates. And by the way, everything here is thrifted. And then on top of that, I used my Thrifted false graph bowl. That's heritage pattern false graph. And here again, you'll see there's just enough contrast with that green behind it. I ended up using the linen cloth napkins with a napkin ring that has a little bit of gold edging, and that mimics the gold edging around the edge of those Pimpernel placemats, which you can't quite see, but there it is. And then I brought out my bronze flatware to add a little bit of color. And there is the bread and butter plate, which is perfect for dinner since we will be having soup and bread, and that is the forget-me-not pattern. And then I just put the butter spreader in that bronze pattern on top of it. And that's ultimately what I settled on. I thought that was the perfect combination of casual elegance. And here's an overview of our simple Irish stew and rustic bread table for two, I should say countertop for two, with our little centerpiece. I imagine that jadeite bowl will have some bread in it. And I think it looks great. I'm so looking forward to enjoying a lovely dinner on St. Patrick's Day. just popping in to edit a few things, a few changes that I made to the table setting that I think improved it overall. Look behind me. I still have my Christmas wreath on the door, both inside and out, but it is the throes of winter here. We just got fresh snow. It's winter and I feel like it's appropriate. So I'll leave that out there until I'm able to clean out my urns and then I will transition. But until those thaw out, this is what we're looking at. So let me turn you around and show you what changes I have made with my St. Patrick's Day dinner for two. Just a couple changes I made. I brought out this beautiful wine glass for me. This is an adult dinner, so I am going to have a nice glass of red wine. There is not one at my husband's place. He is not a wine drinker. And I also swapped out the tapers for these little tea lights. Sorry about the reflection of the overhead lights. I think the tea lights are just a more casual, simple look that suits eating here at the counter. We're not at the table. We are just pulling up, bellying up to the bar, sitting at the counter, having some soup and bread, glass of wine, catching up. And so I just didn't think the tapers were necessary. And this may seem strange, but I see almost like a shamrock in that. It also brought out the sourdough bread that I made a few weeks ago. It freezes beautifully, and I pulled it out. And I will let that thaw and slice up. And I will probably remove the shamrock plant and use this sweet Martha Stewart jadeite cake pedestal to put, I don't know, maybe salt and pepper and a couple slices of bread. I'm obviously going to need to put out my butter dish too, because we are real butter users. And I think I even have some Kerrygold butter that I got at Costco. So I will definitely be pulling that out. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I think I got all the greens of Ireland covered here. You've got hunter green. You've got this really pretty spring green and the forget-me-not plates. And I've got this gorgeous jadeite green, as well as the classic shamrock green. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down to some Irish stew and creating a little bit of everyday elegance this St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for watching. Just hopping on to show you, for those of you who watched my last video, which I will link above, which was a haul, I did end up going back to that thrift store and getting this sweet little hobnail milk glass cream and sugar dish, as well as this little milk glass plate. So I did go back, in case you were wondering, and I don't regret it one bit. On the screen are a few more videos from Relatively Refined for you to enjoy.